What's up, friends? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me here again. Just wanted to start off real quick by thanking you all so much for your support and your views on the last video that I uploaded. I was not expecting so much attention to it and so many new people joining the channel from that, so thank you all so much. That means a lot. I'm really glad that you're all enjoying the videos that I'm uploading. I'm having a blast making them and obviously watching the movies for the first time. It's been a lot of fun, so super glad that you are all enjoying the content, and I look forward to keeping it going for a long time to come. So definitely appreciate you all. And today I'm going to be checking out Fight Club, which I'm really excited about because I know David Fincher is the director. Love him as a director. This is one of the few movies by him that I haven't seen, and also stars Brad Pitt, who I'm a fan of in the movies that I've seen him in. I think he's a good actor, and so I'm really excited. Although as far as story wise, I don't know much about it. I do know you're not allowed to talk about it, so maybe that's why I don't know much about it, but I am intrigued. I'm excited to check it out, and this was of course another Patreon poll winner. If you'd like to choose what I react to and watch, definitely check out the link for my Patreon down below. That's where you can do so and have your voice heard more so than the comments down here. Obviously your comments is where I get most of these suggestions from, so definitely keep commenting your recommendations for that. I appreciate all of you who do that. I've been getting some great movie recommendations, and the full-length reaction for this will also be up on my Patreon if you're interested in not just watching a few minutes here with me on YouTube, but watching the entire movie. Definitely check that out. Love to have you there. And for any of you who may be new to the channel, welcome. I do movie reactions and TV show reactions several times a week. If that's something that you enjoy watching, definitely consider subscribing, turning on that notification bell so you know when I upload my next videos. Love to have you here, and appreciate all of you who have been subscribing. All of those of you who are new recently, appreciate having you here, having your support. And for all of you who've been commenting, liking the videos, definitely have loved interacting with you all here. So without further ado, let's start watching Fight Club.
Everything's far away. Everything's a copy of a copy.
What was that flash?
The IBM Stellar Sphere, the Microsoft Galaxy, Planet Starbucks.
Gonna need you out of town a little more this week.
This pacing is just go, go, go. They're not slowing down at all.
I'd flip through catalogs and wonder, what kind of dining set defines me as a person?
So far, this is not at all what I was expecting. I don't know if it's going to change here in a minute.
Swing by First Methodist Tuesday nights. See the guys with testicular cancer. That's pain.
What's that flashing guy that keeps saying? I almost look like Brad Pitt there for a second, but I mean, it's there for a split second. Hard to tell.
His eyes already shrink-wrapped in tears.
Dang, homie is stacked in the testicular area.
I found freedom. Losing all hope was freedom.
Oh, that's where that quote comes from. I've heard that quote a bunch. I think I do remember that, hearing that it comes from this, but I'd just forgotten about it.
Now find your power animal. Slide.
Here I was thinking this movie was just gonna be about some fighting, but it's clearly much more than that.
Take both the parasites. They're yours. Now we both have 3.
The color scheme is very grimy, especially in that scene.
If you wake up at a different time, in a different place, could you wake up as a different person?
There he is. Also, that's a very interesting quote.
The microwave cordon bleu hobby kit. Shampoo conditioner combos. Sample packaged mouthwash. Tiny bars of soap.
It's like some slam poetry with the music in the background. David Fincher is not wasting any time. There's so much information and important, I assume important things being discussed on screen. Just have to focus the whole time.
I prayed for a crash or a mid-air collision. Anything.
Freak, that startled me.
Okay. You have a kind of sick desperation in your laugh?
We have the exact same briefcase.
Unlike some of the other films I've reacted to, I'm familiar with David Fincher as a director, and I know that most of his frames include something significant, so I'm trying to pay attention and remember things that I may think are random, but I'm sure are not. Like that briefcase. He said he has the same briefcase. I'm sure that's not a coincidence.
In the industry, we call them cigarette burns.
That's the cue for a changeover. He flips the projectors, movie keeps right on going, and nobody in the audience has any idea.
So is he talking to us, the viewers?
So when the snooty cat and the courageous dog with the celebrity voices meet for the first time in reel 3, that's when you'll catch a flash of Tyler's contribution to the film.
Oh, so the little flashes we saw of him earlier, does that have to relate to that?
Okay. I didn't even mind the warm, stale refrigerator.
Now they got some fans.
Monday mornings, all I could do was think about next week.
Can I get the icon in cornflower blue? Absolutely.
What a freaking corny line.
Gentlemen, welcome to Fight Club.
There it is.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
That's the rule I know.
The dynamite
Dynamite?
left a residue of ammonium oxalate potassium chloride.
What?
You know what this means?
No, what does it mean?
It means it was homemade.
Except for their humping, Tyler and Marla were never in the same room. My parents pulled this exact same act for years.
Feel like that's significant.
It's a bridesmaid's dress. Someone loved it intensely for one day.
She just always gets typecast as the crazy lady. Oh, that's so gross.
Once the tallow hardens, you skim off a layer of glycerin. If you were to add nitric acid, you got nitroglycerin. If you were then to add sodium nitrile, dash the sawdust, you got dynamite.
He blew up his apartment. I've been harboring a feeling that maybe this guy has like multiple personalities, because we got that information. We got the weird stuff with the girlfriend and him not being in the same room and her acting like weird towards him. And I mean, he slowly looks like he's turning more into Brad Pitt's type of attitude. That's just a guess though, because there's other scenes that make me think, no, there's no way they could be two different people, because they're both being acknowledged.
Have you heard about the guy that invented this thing?
Well, yeah, actually,
I hear all kinds of things.
yeah.
Supposedly, he was born in a mental institution, and he sleeps only 1 hour a night. He's a great man.
Okay, now that line makes me really think my theory might be correct. See, then there's shots like that where he's like helping carry him, and I'm like, they can't be the same person.
With your unpresentable appearance, you're up for review.
I am Jack's complete lack of surprise.
What? Security?
I am Jack's smirking revenge.
What?
Oh God, no, please, no!
For some reason, I thought of my first fight with Tyler.
Wait, that line, he just said, I thought of my first fight with Tyler. Does that suggest he was fighting himself? And does that mean that my theory may be correct?
Talk to me.
Let go of me. No, leave me alone. This conversation is over.
There's too many indications that he's multi-personality.
Ready to sacrifice himself for the greater good.
So they training people for Fight Club or what? No, because these people were already in Fight Club. At least Bob.
Tyler built himself an army.
An army of what? Oh, just people to take care of the house? See, how can they be the same person if stuff like that happens where he locks the door behind him?
What do you want? Statement of purpose? Should I email you? Should I put this on your action item list?
Look.
You decide your own level of involvement.
I will. I want to know certain things first.
First rule of Project Mayhem.
Shut up.
Scenes like this that really make me think they're not the same person, because both of them are kind of interacting with the people in the back seat.
Let go!
All right, fine.
What? Tyler is insane, man. He's just willing to die at any moment.
It went smooth until... Please! Please!
What?
They shot Bob.
Bob, no, dude.
His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson.
Come on, guys,
His
please,
name
stop it.
is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson.
What is going on?
I'm looking for Tyler Durden. It's very important that I talk to him.
I wish I could help you, sir.
Does that go back to my original thought that they're the same person? And people are like, what the heck are you talking about? You are him.
His name is Robert Paulson.
It isn't.
What the heck? What is going on?
Who do you think I am?
Are you sure this isn't a test?
No, this is not a test.
You're Mr. Durden.
It is the same guy. He freaking does have multiple personalities.
Naturally, you're still receptive, so sometimes you're still you.
We should do this again sometime.
Other times, you imagine yourself watching me.
Shoot, man. I can't believe that's actually what it was.
Pie.
Clean food, please.
In that case, sir, may I advise against the lady eating the clam chowder?
No clam chowder, thank you.
You got about
Oh
30
my gosh, there's people everywhere.
I need you to arrest me. I am the leader of a terrorist organization responsible for numerous acts of vandalism and assault all over the city.
Wait, so was Fight Club like just a ruse? It was actually building like a terrorist organization the whole time? Or was that just something after Fight Club?
You said if anyone ever interferes with Project Mayhem, even you, we gotta get his balls.
What?
To fight is really a powerful gesture, Mr. Durden. It'll set quite an example.
You're making a big
What?
mistake, fellas.
There's people everywhere. This is insane. He really built a freaking nationwide coalition.
Wouldn't do that. Not unless I knew which wires for what.
If you know, then I know.
It's a good point.
Or maybe I knew you'd know, so I spent the whole day thinking about the wrong ones.
What? That's crazy. He's fighting his own mind. He's fighting his own mind twice. I love the intercutting of the security footage. It adds so much.
I can figure this out. This isn't even real. You're not real. That gun is. That gun isn't in your hand. That gun's in my hand.
I love it. Whoa! I didn't think he was actually gonna do it. He's still alive?
Are you all right, sir?
Oh, yeah, I'm okay.
Well, so now he's okay with all this destruction? So shooting himself, did he kill the crazy part of himself or what? Alright, so I've seen Fight Club now, and I'm definitely a little bit confused by the ending. There's definitely things that I'll have to look up the meaning to, and if you guys have like explanations of meanings of different things in the movie, please let me know in the comments. I would appreciate it, because while I did understand most of the things that went on during the movie, there's definitely things that I'm a little bit confused on, which I'm sure was intentional, because David Fincher usually likes to provoke kind of thought and analysis with his movies, and you don't usually get everything on the first watch. So I completely understand that, having watched a lot of or several of his films before. But overall, I thought it was great. I was very captivated throughout the movie, and I thought the acting of the two leads was great, Edward Norton and Brad Pitt. And I definitely picked up early on some of the hints that suggested he is the same person, just multiple personalities, before the big reveal. So the big reveal itself was enjoyable because it was like confirming my own personal theories about the movie, but I don't know if most or a decent amount of people get to that point without knowing that, and then the big reveal kind of hits you on the head with shock. So I don't know, let me know if you, when you watched it, kind of picked up on some of the hints and kind of had the idea that they might be the same person. Whenever I watch this again, I'll definitely have to pay closer attention to when they're in the same scene, especially early on, and kind of looking for clues or hints. But there were some of the scenes, looking back, that I still wonder how it works out that they're the same person, because especially in the car scene, it comes to mind when they crash. I'm thinking, well, the two guys in the back seat, I felt like we're kind of responding to or acknowledging both of them, but I don't know, maybe I was missing something, and maybe it also has to do with I wasn't 100% sure they were the same person at that point, so I wasn't picking up on some little details that might have been giveaways. So definitely a interesting movie to rewatch, knowing that bit of information, especially early on. It'll be interesting to see how the movie changes, knowing that for a surety that they're the same person now. Definitely think it's a very clever writing and plot of the movie to include something like that. Think it's great, and obviously David Fincher is a master of kind of more difficult or complex plots, so he definitely does a great job directing that here. And I'm sure there's plenty of analysis videos way better than I could articulate fresh off first time watch of why his direction is so good. But there's definitely things that I noticed throughout the movie, kind of after I started to suspect it, of very clever directing style and placement and composition. And unlike some movies, I feel like this is definitely one that I can't really say or express fully how I feel about it until I better understand, especially the ending, because I think from what I understand, at first I thought he shot himself like straight through the brain, so I didn't realize how he was still alive, but it looks from other angles and stuff after the fact that he kind of shot himself through his cheek, I'm guessing, is what it looked like. And so I don't know if that, all the stuff after that, means he killed off the wrong personality that he was trying to do, maybe the weaker personality. And so that's why afterwards maybe he acts like that, because his Tyler Durden kind of Brad Pitt personality, that was always the stronger one, always the more crazy guy that could handle more pain and stuff like that. And as I'm talking about it, I'm realizing that's probably what happened. And so I think that is a pretty clever ending and a pretty different ending than what most movies would do. Most movies would either have the good personality win, or just have him die altogether, not take kind of the more bleak or dark route, I guess, by having the terrorist personality be victorious. And so it's definitely interesting how he chose to end the movie. I don't know if or who was the writers on this, if David Fincher was involved in the writing or if it's based off another story, but it's very excellent writing, so I definitely appreciated that. And I mentioned a couple times while watching it that I felt the color scheme and the lighting and everything was very kind of grim and grungy and uncomfortable, and I feel that added a ton to the environment of the movie. It made you feel like you were in this nasty, almost unlivable, unenjoyable environment, and it adds to the tone that the movie's going for a lot. And so I appreciated that. I thought that was a great directorial cinematography type decision. So thank you for another fantastic suggestion of a movie to watch. I know, again, this is another movie that's ranked really highly on IMDb and other websites, so there's really no excuse that I haven't seen this movie, but I'm glad that I was finally able to see it based off the polls and suggestions, so thank you again for that. And once again, if you'd like to be involved in the polls or give specific suggestions for me to watch, definitely check out the Patreon link in the description, and the full reaction to this movie will be up on my Patreon as well. If you're interested in watching throughout the movie instead of this YouTube video, definitely check that out. And I appreciate all my supporters on there, as well as all of you who are subscribed and watching on here. And if this was your first time or you're new, thank you so much for watching and sticking to the end. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, definitely consider leaving a like. It helps the channel grow, helps me out a lot. I appreciate all of you who do that, and I look forward to interacting with you all in the comments, especially after this one. I'm sure you'll have a lot of great stuff that will help me appreciate this one even more, so I look forward to that. And until the next video, I will see you all later. Peace.